Good morning. It is the Monday morning cup of coffee for Monday, July 9th. And I'm your host, Tommy Womack. Let's have a sip of coffee together, shall we? For once, I have absolutely nothing to promote to you. I don't have a gig until April, which means I need to get some gigs, which means I'll be making a few phone calls. And if you'd like to help out, I would appreciate it. If you know of a good gig in your neighborhood, especially house concerts, please drop me a line at tommywomacklovesyou@gmail.com, and maybe we can arrange something. Whenever I need something, I go to my fan base / friend base, and you never let me down. So let me know if you know of any gigs out there I could get in on between now and April, so I can put some money in the kitty, pay the rent, mortgage actually, and pay the car payment. I got a new car, new to me. It's a 2019 Nissan Sentra, and it was sold by Enterprise Rent-A-Cars. They sell off their old models after a while. But what it means is the car's in flawless condition. I mean, it's like I got one of those cars now that when you put it in reverse, there's this little screen comes up that shows you what's behind you. I don't trust it. I always look around my shoulder anyway. But it's got that. It's got the thing where you don't put a key in the ignition. You just step on the brake and then push start. And the car comes to life. It's a beautiful, a smooth ride too. So if you're going to get a used car, try Enterprise Car Sales or maybe any of those other Hertz, Avis. I don't know if they do it or not. But you'll get a used car that's been very well taken care of, and surprisingly low mileage on this car. So I'm happy about that. Let me see. I'm going to show you the books. I occasionally show you the books I'm working on reading, and I'm not working very fast on them because I tend to come to bed with my phone here and do it like this and go down the YouTube rabbit hole and then find myself too sleepy to read any. But this is the first and foremost. I got this a few months ago. Churchill, Walking with Destiny by Andrew Roberts. 800 pages. You want to see where I am? That's how far along I am with it. And I'm bound and determined to finish the son of a bitch. I'm going to finish this book, and I'm going to know more about Churchill than you would ever want to hear about. This one, The Five Families by Selvin Robb. I've seen him so many times in documentaries on mafia families. This is the story of the five families of New York. The Genovese family, the Gambino family, the Lucchese family, the Bonanno family, and the Colombo family. It's all their history right there. I'm a mafia nut. I'm really into gangsters and mafioso, mostly about the New York gangs, not so much the Chicago outfit or the LA gangs, but Vegas as well, because Vegas was an open city. All the families worked there. I'm looking forward to getting into this. This will be a read that I'll just fly through because I'm really interested in it. This is one of the books about Aramaic, Jesus in the original Aramaic. I'm reading about this. I have two more books about the Aramaic language. See, Jesus spoke Aramaic. That was his native tongue. And while there are still some segments of society that speak Aramaic, they're few and far between. So the book I'm working on requires a certain, I want the characters to occasionally speak in Aramaic. So I'm trying to learn a smattering of it. And this just came in the mail the other day. This is going to be a fun one. This is The Andy Warhol Diaries. Uh, came out in 1989, I think. This is an original copy of it. Um, didn't cost me $12 on eBay. It was a good value, and it's supposed to be fun because every now and then in the diaries, Andy just tears other people to shreds with his reminiscences of them, saying, "Oh, this person was totally vile," or things like that. So that's going to be fun to read. And there are other books too, which I don't have copies of them now. I stopped halfway in my biography of Ulysses Grant, which was 900 pages, but I know where I stopped off and I know I can pick it up again someday. I bought a book called Stop Procrastination Now. And I swear to God, this is not a joke. I swear to God, I have yet to crack that book. I've had it a year. Stop Procrastinating Now. Had it a year. There's Elvis Costello's Unfinished Movies and Disappearing Ink is what it's called. And Steve Gorman's autobiography of the life and death of the Black Crowes, which I've had it for well over a year, and I feel bad because we traded books, and he read mine right away, and I still haven't read the Crows book. And I'll tell you why. I have a blind spot about the Black Crowes. See, Steve and I went to college together, and he moved to Atlanta and became a Black Crow, and I stayed in Bowling Green and became Government Cheese. And Black Crows were up here popularity wise. Government Cheese was, see where my hand was? Well, we were a little down there popularity wise. I mean, we were popular, but just regionally, not with like the Crows. And I'll tell you, one of the saddest, bitterest memories of my life. Around 1990, Government Cheese wasn't doing so well anymore. Our price was going down. The class of college that everybody was fans of us in, well, they graduated, and the new students had their own bands. And so we needed, for the first time in 5 years, the band members needed some sustenance, some extra income. So 3 of us worked at the Tender Touch Auto Wash in Bowling Green. I was in the vacuum bay, which was good. I didn't have to get as wet. I just vacuumed out cars and took loose change. And one day it's the snow was just melting, and cars had salt and soot and gray snow all over them. So everybody was coming through the car wash on a sunny day, while the snow was melting. And I was already thinking, man, I'm working at a fucking car wash. That that I've really made something of my life, haven't I? Absolutely. So I vacuumed the car, and then my job was to put the car in gear and drive it around in a circle to get it up onto the rails that your wheels fit into to get pulled through the car wash tunnel. And so I finished the vacuum. I hung the vacuum wand up on the pole, sat down in the driver's seat, started the car, and it was playing Jealous Again by the Black Crowes. So here's Steve off getting famous, and here I am driving a car around to the beginning of the car wash bay after I'd vacuumed it out. Boy, did I feel like I had made it in life right then. So that I'm going to read the book. I'm going to do it, but because I understand I won't be as jealous of Steve as I have been once I read the book, because apparently the Robinson brothers are just the devils incarnate to deal with. So, and that would be fun to read. That'll be fun. There's a book called Marr, Johnny Marr's autobiography. I started it once, and then another book came across my transom. Mary Carr has a book called The Liars Club. That's on my list. I have another, The Guns at Last Light, about the European theater in the final year of World War II. I have 2 more books about Aramaic to look at. I have a new Dale Carnegie book called, what is it called? I don't even remember. The 5 Essential People Skills. Those are it, which I already know. Don't walk up to somebody and say, fuck you. Don't grab them by the pussy just because you're a star. Don't blow your nose in front of them onto your hand like that. Don't do that. And if you do that, at least don't do. Well, it appears my video cut off there. I don't know what happened, but I think what I was about to advise you to do was, if you blow your nose on your hand and it's a big wad of booger that comes out, if you're wanting to impress people, then don't do this with your hands to rub it up into a little ball of snot and then put it on your fingernail and do that. Especially if you're at a banquet. Especially. Believe me, voice of experience. I'm not telling you anything I haven't learned myself. And that's about all I can think to tell you, except for one thing. I hate to end everything here on a bummer note, but about a month ago, Florida's governor bust a whole bunch of Mexican and Paraguayan, South American, Central American migrants, took them over the border and sent them to Boston for some reason. Just said, here, you deal with them. And then 2 or 3 weeks ago, the governor in Texas did the same thing. He sent a couple of busloads of migrants to Kamala Harris's front yard in Washington, D.C. in the bitter cold. Just kicked them out of the bus and left them there. And nobody seems to care. It's not on the news. It did make the news a couple of nights, about 20 minutes into the newscast. It's merited a mere few inches in the press. Nobody's checked in to see how these people are doing, where they're staying, who's taking care of them. And it's like it hasn't happened. It's like those kids that were put in cages and separated from their parents a couple of years ago. Are they even still there? Are they still in the cages? Where is the caring for that? I understand there's been a big storm. I understand Ukraine. Yeah, I understand things that are this ridiculousness with the Speaker of the House vote. But these inhuman things happened, and nobody seems to give a dry rat fuck about it. I don't understand why. Maybe you do. Enlighten me about it. Anyway, now that that's said, and I just ask, where's the outrage? Where's the people who care? Are we also numb after 4 years of Trump that just things like this are water off a duck's back? I don't know. But anyway, I can't solve the world's problems. You get together with me for a cup of coffee and we'll solve the world's problems sometime. Remember, I'm looking for gigs. If you got any ideas on gigs, especially house concerts, but bars are fine too, coffee houses are fine too, hit me up. TommyWomackLovesYou@gmail.com. In the meantime, God bless you. Don't let the bastards get you down. Remember, Barack, he did exist as president at one time. I know it seems like a dream now, but it really was him. I miss those days. God bless you. See you next Monday.